welcome to our second session together on back health and spinal integrity. So today we're going to be focusing on strengthening some of our postural muscles in our back so that we can stand taller and prouder. So whether you engage in activities like cycling or simply you're getting older, because we're all getting older, it's important to work on spine integrity and balancing our back muscles so that we can counteract all of the forward folding and forward leaning activities that we do in life, which are a lot, driving and typing and cooking, all of those things. So the muscles that we're going to focus on today are our lats or latissimus dorsi, our traps or trapezius muscles, and then our QL or quadratus lumborum muscle. So our lats, they're large, broad muscles. They're the biggest muscles in your back. They're like huge wings, and they run along all the way to the last thoracic vertebrae, and they insert up here into the shoulder, the tendon portion. And your trapezius muscles, on the other hand, they're not as wide, but they're long. So they run all the way from the suboccipital region down to the last thoracic vertebrae as well. And they're important for elevating the shoulder, depressing the shoulder, or bringing the shoulder blades together. Okay, your lats, on the other hand, they do shoulder extension, they do internal rotation, and adduction or adduction of the arm. Okay, finally, your QL or quadratus lumborum, as the name suggests, is rectangular. It's part of your low back. It's the deepest hip muscle, and it basically runs from the hip all the way to the last rib and along the transverse processes of your spine. So this muscle does this action. It hikes the hip up. So if you enjoy dancing or other activities like that, then stretching this muscle out is really great because it's going to keep you dancing or just feeling better for longer, and obviously counteracting back pain, which is never a bad thing. So for today's program, we're going to start in a seated position, and then we're going to be mostly working on our tummies with our forehead relaxed on the ground. These exercises can be challenging, so make sure to only do what is able to be done without any pain. If you've had any type of surgery on the shoulder, it might be really hard to reach the arms overhead from this position. So I will provide some modifications with the arms out to the side or even just at our sides, and those are great as well. So do what you can and just listen up for those modifications, okay? With those modifications, you don't have to extend the whole body or lift. You can just move the arms a little bit, and that's also strengthening the same muscles. So less is more sometimes. So so let's get started. So feel free to warm up before this session. You can check out my video on body positivity and interdisciplinary movement. That might be a really great way to warm up before getting into our back strength exercises together. We're going to start, however, with a breathing exercise first of all, so that we can just tap into our diaphragm and our core muscles. So you're just going to sit in a relaxed position. Your palms can be either up or down, and just shimmy the shoulders, let them kind of be loose and fall down towards the ground. And we're going to do a 3-part breath for this. So we're going to be inhaling through the diaphragm, into the ribs, into the throat, and then releasing through the diaphragm, through the ribs, and through the throat. So just fully relax, empty out the lungs. And here we go, inhaling all the way into the chest, into the throat, and then exhaling through the tummy, ribs, and throat. Do a couple more together. Just give yourself permission to slow down. Perfect. So softening the eyes open if they're closed. And feel free to do these breathing exercises by sitting on a block or a pillow if it helps the hips feel more comfortable. So we're going to extend our feet out now. We're going to start with a low back activation exercise, our seated twist pose. So we're going to bring our right foot all the way in, use our right hand to prop us up, raise that left hand nice and tall, and then we're going to grab hold of the right thigh and slowly begin to turn. Start from the belly button, work all the way through the spine, into the shoulders, finally with the neck. Good, couple more breaths here. Good, and release to the other side, counter twist, and relax those legs. Give them a little shake. Let's bring the left leg in, left hand props us up nice and tall, right arm nice and long, and we're gonna reach, grab hold of that left thigh, slowly turn. Take your time with this, try to work through each vertebrae. That's gonna help our posture as well. Good, couple more breaths here. Good, and exhale, counter twist, and release the legs. All right, we're gonna do a nice stretch for the full back now. So we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together, we're creating like a diamond shape. And for this, we're gonna walk our hands through the legs. You can grab hold of your shin, ankle, or feet. And we're gonna think of creating an arch with the back as we relax the head and neck. Good, and take 3 to 5 breaths here. Good, and slowly warm up from there, or round back up from there. All right, we're gonna move into our strength exercises now. So I do recommend, because we're gonna keep our forehead relaxed and we're gonna keep our neck long, you may want to use a towel for this if you're a germaphobe like me. So our first exercise is gonna be a little baby cobra. So this whole part of our arm, it's gonna remain on the mat, and we're gonna be pressing into the ground with our fingertips and just lifting a little bit. You should see on the slide some of the recommendations. We wanna avoid cranking the neck up. We wanna keep our neck neutral as possible. So you can certainly look in front of you a little bit, but we wanna really focus on the low back. So the closer we stay to the ground, the better for this. All right, so this is our arm position. We're gonna press into the ground and lift. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Inhale, lift. Let's do 2 more together. Think of squeezing into the mid and low back, and relax. 1 more. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. So we're going to do a variation of that, but our hands are going to be in a W position. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. So this is going to feel probably a little more intense. Last one. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So from here, we're gonna be finally doing our lat pull down exercise. So fully done with just our own body weight, of course. So our arms and our thumbs are gonna be up like this. Okay, so we're gonna think of pulling a towel apart in our minds and just bringing that towel to behind the neck. Now, again, this may not feel comfortable to have the shoulder in this position, so your alternatives are to create a letter T or a letter A. Okay, and with those, you can think of squeezing into the back muscles as well. Think of squeezing into the center of your back, and that will be just as effective. Okay, so the first one's just adding a lot of shoulder rotation. Okay, so let's do 3 of those together. Awesome. And we have one more, just a little extra challenge or bonus. So this is, I call it prisoner raise. So we're gonna be bringing our hands behind our back and then lifting our torso off the ground. So I'll demo it first. Okay, so we're keeping our neck as neutral as possible, lowering and returning. And of course you can do the exact same thing from any position. So I'll do a couple in one position and then a couple from our letter A modification, just so you can have an idea. Perfect. So slowly come out of that. So I did one in a Y, a T, and an A. So I kind of got that idea in the moment, and it is actually quite nice actually to incorporate angles. So kind of like we did in an earlier session with our hips, you can always incorporate different angles with your shoulders. So we did a lot of back work, so I want us to do that classic child's pose. So from tabletop, glue your toes together and just lean back to a comfortable place. Walk your fingertips forward and take a few breaths here. Perfect. And let's just do a cat-cow pose as well, just to help transition. So we're gonna tilt our tailbone up, lift our sternum and heart, arms are straight. Good, next exhale, draw the belly button up high, lower and relax the neck. Awesome, and come up to neutral. All right, so we have one more thing to do, and that's our QL stretch. So for this, we are in a lunge position. Lunging on the right, our left leg is long, but keep the knee bent here for safety. We're gonna take that left palm, open it up, reach our right hand nice and tall again, and we're just gonna take a little bend to the side. It's really small, so the more we bend, we end up using a lot of other muscles. So to get the QL in the low back, it's really small, but it's really powerful. So you could take 3 to 5 breaths here. Release. Perfect. We are going to switch to the other side. All right, right palm open, left arm up, and we're just moving a few inches. You can also at the same time walk that right hand down towards the ground. Perfect. And there we are. So that completes our session on back strength and postural integrity. So I hope that you're feeling taller and prouder. I'm sure you are. And keep up the great work. And I hope to see you again soon. Have an amazing day.